Dear students, welcome to another video tutorial on programming concept using C. And today's topic is do while loop in C programming language. Myself Niladri Shekhar Pak. I am working as an assistant professor at Computer Science and Engineering Department at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. The college is under GIS group and the college is situated at Baroipur. So now what is do while loop? Okay. So the do while loop, as you can see, that is similar to the while loop. Okay. So as you can see, it is similar to the while loop. Okay. Except the while condition is at the end. Okay. So it is similar to the while loop. Okay. But there is a one single difference. Okay. What is the difference? The body of do while loop is executed at least once. Okay. So it will execute once. Okay, but in case of while loop, if the condition does not satisfy, it will never execute. But in case of do while loop, it will minimum execute one time. Okay, after that it will check. If it does not satisfy, it will not execute furthermore, but one time it will execute. Okay, only then the test expression is evaluated. Okay. Okay, so the syntax, as you have seen, these are the syntax. Okay, so I can say that a do while loop is basically similar to the while loop, except that the condition is always executed after the body of a loop. So that is why it is called an exit control loop. Okay, as we can see that in a while loop, the body is executed if and only if the condition is true. But in some cases, we have to execute a body of the loop at least once, even if the condition is false. This type of operation can be achieved by using a do-while loop. So in the do-while loop, the body of a loop is always executed at least once. After the body is executed, then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then it will again execute the body of a loop. Otherwise, controls is transferred out of the loop. Similarly to the while loop, once the control goes out of the loop, the statements which are immediately after the loop is executed. The critical difference between the while and do while loop is that in while loop, the while is written at the beginning. In do while loop, the while condition is written at the end and terminates with a semicolon. Okay. So how do while loop works? The body of do while loop is executed once. Only then the test expression is evaluated. If the test expression is true, the body of the loop is executed again and the test expression is evaluated. This progress goes on until the test expression becomes false. If the test expression is false, the loop ends. Okay, so these are the flowchart. As you can see, this is the do while loop body. Okay, so this is the body. Okay, so at first there is no check, the loop body will be executed once, and after that there is a test expression. So this is the body. Okay, this is the do while loop condition, do while. Okay, do part is the do part. Okay, and this is the while part. Okay, so one time it will be executed, and after that if does not support the condition, it will never execute again. Okay, so it will again, and if it is true, it will again go here. Okay, so a single time it will be executed. So as we can conclude that a do while loop is similar to the while loop, except that the condition is always executed after the body of a loop. Okay, so it is also called an exit control loop. Okay, as we know that in case of while loop, the body is executed if and only if the condition is true. In some cases, we have to execute a body of the loop at least once if the condition is false. This type of operation can be achieved by using a do while loop. In the do while loop, the body of a loop is always executed at least once. After the body is executed, then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then it will again execute the body of a loop. Otherwise, control is transferred out of the loop. Similar to the while loop, once the control goes out of the loop, the statements which are immediately after the loop is executed. The critical difference between the while and do while loop is that in while loop, the while is written in the beginning. In do while loop, the while condition is written at the end and terminates with a semicolon. Okay. So now we'll do a C program that will print all the numbers up to n using do while loop. Okay. So we have did it using while loop. Now we'll do it using do while loop. So let's do the program. Okay. So this is our C editor. First we will take the header files. Okay. Hash include stdio.h. Okay. Next hash include kanaya.h. Next int main. It is a main function. Okay. So any C program will start executing from this main function. Okay. And stdio.h, kanaya.h, these are the header files. Okay. As we know that the header files are basically used because all the library functions like printf, scanf, okay, these are stored within the header files. Okay. So to use those library function, we must have to include these header files. So this is, so we'll take the variables int n and I. Okay. So printf /n, enter the number. Okay. Enter the number. So scanf within double quotation percentage %d. Okay. Comma ampersand n. Okay. So the format of do while loop is do. There is a bracket. Okay. So what we will do? We will printf /n percentage %d. Okay. Comma I. So the value of I will be printed. Okay. After that I plus plus. Okay. And the condition is while n not equals to 0. Okay. So this is the condition. Okay. So suppose the value of n is 5. Okay. At first, before that, we have to initialize the value of I as 0. Okay. So as you can see that the value of I is 0 and is suppose 5. Okay. So the value of I will be printed, that 0 will be printed, and after that the value of I will be incremented. So 0 is been printed. Okay. So 0 has been printed. Okay. After that the value of I will be incremented, that is 1. Okay. So this condition satisfies. Okay. So again do will be. Okay. So now the value of I is 1. Okay. So it will be printed. So 1 will be printed. Okay. Now the value of I become 2. This condition satisfied. Okay. So 2 will be printed. Next value of I will be 3. Again this condition satisfied. Okay. So the value of I will be printed. So it will be 3. Now it is 4. Okay. Okay. So next the value of I is now 4. Okay. So here is the 4 will be printed, and after that it will be 5. Okay. So it is also not equals to 0. Okay. So 5 will be printed. Okay, so I have a problem, that is the logic will be here, n is less than equals to 0. Okay, so it is 5. Okay, after that it will be 6. Okay, so this will not be. Okay. So I am saving the program and now I am executing it. If the number is 5, the answer is 0. Okay, and let's check what are the problems. If n is, while n is less than equals to, sorry, it will be 5. Okay, execute, compile and run. Okay, if the number is 5, it goes to the infinite level. Okay, okay, so it will be I less than equals to n. Okay, I am executing it. So if it is 5, as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this was the program to print up to n using do while loop. Okay, so this is the use of do while loop. Next we will do another program. It will find the sum of numbers up to n using do while loop. Okay, so in our previous program we have just printed all the numbers. Okay, so in this program we will print the sum of those numbers. Okay, so let's do the program. So this is our C editor. At first we will take the header files, that is hash include stdio.h. Okay, these are the header file. Next we will take another header file, hash include conio.h. Okay, the first one is stdio standard input output and the next one is conio.h console input output. Okay, these header files are used to basically all the library functions are stored within these header files. Okay, to use those header library functions we need to include these header files. Okay, next is int main. Okay, any C program will start execution from this main function. Okay, any C program must contain a single main function. This is int n. Next one is I. The next one is sum. The value of sum will be initialized as 0. Okay. Next printf. Then double quotation slash n, enter a number. Okay. Enter a number. Next scanf. Within double quotation percentage d, comma ampersand n. Okay. And the value of I will be initialized as 0. So what will we do? We will do sum equals to sum plus I. Okay, and the value of I will be incremented by plus. And here the condition is while I is less than equals to n. Okay, and after the while loop we will printf. Okay, we will printf the result. So the result is percentage d comma sum. Okay, so the value of n is suppose 5, I is 0. Okay, so first it is added. Okay, so sum is 0, 0 plus I is 0 plus 0, and now the value of I will be 1. Okay, so 1 is less than equals to n. Okay, so it will again happen. So next the previous sum was 0 and now I is 1, so 0 plus 1, so new sum is 1 and the value of I will be from 1 to 2. So 2 is also less than equals to n. Okay, now the value of sum is 2 plus 1. Okay, 1 plus 2 basically. I value is 2 and sum is 1, it is 3. And the value of I will be incremented by 1. Okay, so the new value of I is 3. Okay, so 3 is less than equals to n. Okay, now the value of sum is sum plus I. The previous sum was 3 and I is 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. And the value of I will be incremented by 1. So the new I is 4. Okay, so 4 is less than equals to n. Okay, so sum will be previous 6 plus I is 4, that is 10. And now the new I is 5. 5 is also equals to n. Okay, so sum will be 10 plus value of I, that is 15. And the value of I is incremented by 1. Okay, so the new value of I is 6. Okay, so this condition will not satisfy, it will come outside the while loop. Okay, so the value of the sum will be printed. Okay, so let's save the program first. Okay, and execute it. Okay, so enter a number, suppose the number is 5. Okay, and the result is 15. Okay, so 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, the result will be 15. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, so this was the program to find the sum of the numbers up to n using do while loop. Okay, next we will do another program to find the reverse of a number using do while loop. Okay, so let's do the program. So this is our C editor. This is hash include stdio.h. These are the header file, standard input output. Next it is hash include kana.h. This is console input output. Okay, so this is int main. Okay, this is the main function. Any C program will start execution from this main function. Okay, and these are the header files, hash include stdio.h and kana.h. All the C library functions like printf, scanf, etc. are okay. These are stored within this header files to stdio.kana.h. Okay, so if we want to use those header files, a library function, we will include these header files. Okay, so next we will take the variables int c. The value of c will be initialized. I will better it will be, and this is n. Okay, so the value of c will be initialized as 0. Next printf, enter the number. Okay, so enter a number. So scanf within double quotation percentage d. Okay, so the value of n will be taken. Okay, now we'll use the loop. Okay, so at first do. So what we will do? We will just c equals to c plus 1. Okay, and n will be n by 10. Okay, so the condition is while n is not equals to 0. And after the while loop, we will printf the value of c. So the count is percentage d, comma c. Okay, so let's save the program first and execute it. Okay, if the number is 456, the count is 0. Okay, let's understand the program. Okay, suppose the value of n is 456. Okay. As we know, the value of c is 0. So at first the value of c will be 1. Okay, and the value of n will be 456 by 10 equals to 45. Okay, so 45 is not equals to 0. Okay, so the value of c will be incremented by 1, so it will be 2. So now the value of n is 45. So 45 by 10 will be 4. Okay, so 4 is not equals to 0. Okay, so the value of c will be incremented by 1. It will be 3. And what will be the value of n? So 4 by 10 is equals to 0. So n is not now equals to 0. Okay, so the loop will not execute. So it will now come to the outside of the while loop. So the outside the while loop, the statement is the count is %dc. So the value of c will be printed, and the value of c is c. Okay, so c has been printed. Okay, so this is the program to find or to count the digits of a number. Okay, so hope you have understood. So this was the now the next program is to find the reverse of a number using do while loop. Okay, so in this program I will find the reverse of a number. So if the number is 123, the reverse will be 321. Okay, so using do while loop we will do it. Okay, in our previous tutorial we will do the same program using while loop, and in this tutorial we will do the same program using do while loop. Okay, so this is the editor. So hash include stdio.h. This is the standard input output header file. Next, conio.h. This is the console input output. Okay, conio.h. This is the console input output. Next, int main. This is the main function. Okay, this is the main function. Any C program will start executing from this main function. Okay, so the variable that we have to take, that is int n, I, and reverse. Okay, and okay, so reverse. So now first we will take the value of printf. Okay, so the value of printf is, we have to take a value, or we have to enter a number. Okay, so enter a number, scanf within double quotation %d, comma, ampersand n. Okay, so this is the number. Okay, so now we'll do initialize the value of reverse. Okay, so we'll initialize the value of reverse as 0. Now let's call the while do while loop. Okay, so what we'll do, so I will be n mod 10. Okay, now reverse equals to reverse into 10. Okay, reverse into 10 plus I. Okay, next the value of n will be n by 10. Okay, and the condition is while n is not equals to 0. Okay, so outside of the while loop we will printf the reverse one. Okay, so printf slash n, the reverse is %d, comma, reverse. Okay, so first run the program, then we will explain the codes. Okay, so compile and run. If the number is 123, the reverse is 321. Okay, so let's understand the program first. Okay, so what will be the value of I first? N mod 10. N is suppose 123. Okay, so I is 123 mod 10. So 123 mod 10 will be 3. Okay, so here what will the value of reverse? So reverse will be reverse into 10. The value of reverse is now 0. So 0 into 10, okay, plus 3. So it will be 3. What is the value of n? N will be 123 by 10. That is 12. Okay. So it will continue up to while n not equals to 0. Okay. So the value of n is now 12. Okay. So 12 is not equals to 0. Okay. So here I, the value of I will be 12 mod 10, that is 2. Okay. So what will be the value of reverse? Previous reverse was 3. So 3 into 10 plus the value of I is 2. Okay. So it will be 32. Now what is the value of n? Value of n is 12. So 12 by 10 is 1. Okay, 1 is also not equals to 0. Okay, so value of 1 mod 10 is 1. Okay, so here the value of reverse is 32. So 32 into 10 plus this is 1. Okay, so this will be 321. Okay, so 1 divided by 10 will be 0. Okay, so this condition will not support now. Okay, so there it will not come again, go to the while loop. Okay, so it will come outside the while loop. Okay, so the value of reverse will be printed, and the value of reverse is 321, which is the answer. Okay, so this was the program to find the reverse of a number using do while loop. Okay, so students, hope you have understood it. Our next program is to count the number of digits. Already did it. Okay, so the next one is difference between while and do while loop. Okay, so the first one is the general form. That is, we know that the while there is a condition and there is a statement. Okay, so if this condition satisfied, so the first point is general form. As you can see that the form is while there is a condition. If this condition satisfies, the body of the loop will be executed. And in the do while part, there is a do part. Okay, at first it will execute and then it will check. Okay, if the condition, so in case of do while loop, one time it will be executed. After that, it will check the condition. If then it finds that the condition is false, then it will not execute it. That means minimum one time will be executed. But in case of while loop, that uh, situation will not happen. So next one is the point is controlling condition. So in while loop, the controlling condition appears at the start of the loop. Okay. Okay, so the condition in case of while loop, the condition is at the beginning. Okay, but in case of do while loop, it is at the end of the loop. Okay, and the iteration do not occur if the condition at the first iteration appears false in case of while loop. But in case of do while loop, the iteration occurs at least once, even if the condition is false at the first iteration. Okay, so as I have told, if, in case of while loop, if the condition does not satisfy, it will not execute it for a single time. But in case of do while loop, if the condition does not satisfy, it will execute only once. Okay, so basically it will check the condition after the first iteration. Okay, so it in while loop can also, next point is a alternate name. While loop can also be called as entry control loop, and do while is called as the exit control loop. While loop is called basically entry called controlled loop because it has been, the condition is at the beginning. But do while loop is called exit control loop because it is the condition is at the end of the do while loop. Okay, the next one is semicolon. Okay, so semicolon is not used in case of while loop. Okay, so after the condition there is no semicolon, but in case of do while loop, okay, there is a semicolon at the end of the loop. Okay, so these are the differences between while and do while loop. Okay, so students, this is all about do while loop. Hope you have understood it. If you have any doubt, any query, you can write on the comment section. If you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel. If you want more C programming videos or the more C programs on do while loop, you can write on the comment section. Okay, and if you can visit www.facebook.com/digitalclassroom to like my page. Okay, to get all the details. So students, thank you for now. See you on the next tutorial.